Today is a really good day to record this video because I'm sitting at my PC and I want to play Final Fantasy XIV. I want to log in, do something fun, grind something out, level my class. I started leveling Astrologian and I really like it and I want to play more of it. And I'm really feeling that today. I actually want to play more. But I cannot because it's maintenance. 2-day maintenance even, which, well, kind of sucks. But of course it's for Dawn Trail. So at the same time, I'm like, happy about it. Because I'm actually excited for Dawn Trail. I'm actually excited to play Final Fantasy again from a start of an expansion because I started late again in Dawn Trail, which is kind of weird. But I'm now going to be part of a new expansion again. And in this video, I just actually want to talk about how I came around to love Final Fantasy XIV again. Because if you go back 2 years, I really disliked this game. I wouldn't say I hated it, but there were a lot of things I didn't like anymore. I was completely burned out. I was done with it and I just quit, right? And now I defend the game a lot from other people that say things that I said 3 years ago about this game or 4 years ago because I see it completely differently. And I really enjoy playing it again. And I just wanted to, talk a bit about that and how I came back to liking this game again. Because sometimes you just need something to make you fall in love with a specific game or an activity again. And I think that's what happened. And I'm honestly quite happy about it. But like I said, I just wanted to talk a bit about this. But before that, I actually, maybe a bit about, for those of you that don't know me, I played Final Fantasy XIV from 2015 onwards, which is now 9 years actually. Played in Heavensward. That was when I started, and good times, to be honest. And then obviously, I played through Stormblood, which, Stormblood, in my opinion, even though I didn't like the story as much, and it had a lot of things to it, I really liked one thing about it, and that was Machinist. I was obsessed with Machinist. It was the only job I would play. Maybe Bard sometimes. But I loved Machinist. I actually genuinely, I think it was like the best design I've ever had. I know many people didn't like it. I know it was disliked by the community, but God, I loved Machinist. And then came Shadowbringers around and they butchered it. Actually, they really, really butchered it. And it still hasn't recovered. It still hasn't. I know many people like it now more. And I understand that. For me, the job is kind of like, I don't want to say dead, but it's just not something I want to play anymore, main anymore at all. Because I'm just still heartbroken from the Stormblood Machinist, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, then I played Shadowbringers and I was someone I raided like a shitload. I would just raid every day, stream every day, raid, Savage, Ultimates, whatnot. You know how it is with streamers that do raids. They just raid every single day. And I could feel the burnout coming, obviously. And at the end of Shadowbringers, it was just, I woke up one day and I was like, I'm done with this. I couldn't do it anymore. There was just not enough in this game for me that took my interest, basically. It was just raiding that I thought was interesting. By that time, I did expand a bit more. I did some other activities, but it wasn't enough to keep me playing. It wasn't enough to keep me logging in every single day, to be honest. It just wasn't. And so in 2021, towards the end of Shadowbringers, I decided I'm just going to stop playing this. I never said I wouldn't return, but I said I need to stop now. And that was actually pretty good timing because at the given time, Lost Ark was kind of like rising in popularity. It was like already available on like Russian servers and stuff like that, and I dabbled a bit around that. And honestly, it was really nice to just like stop with one MMO and move to the next MMO. And I played Lost Ark then. It was announced for the West. Great, super happy, perfect, super excited. Played it a lot. Played it way too lot. Played it way too much. It was God, I don't want to talk about Lost Ark too much, but damn, that game. I think that game is also part of the reason why I'm now liking Final Fantasy XIV so much, to be honest, because that game is such a shithole, to be honest, compared to like any of the popular MMOs like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, or Final Fantasy XIV. And Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of things that are, when I now look at them, they look positive. But if I would look at them 3 years ago, I would say, or 4 years ago by now, I would say, oh, well, this sucks. But it doesn't actually suck. It just sucks if you're used to it and you just, play too much, kind of. But yeah, then like I said, I Lost Ark. I ditched it at some point and I returned to Final Fantasy. Actually, this is funny, but it was a year ago. It was actually a year ago when I first streamed Final Fantasy XIV again and where I bought Dawn Trail. No, not Dawn Trail, obviously. I meant Endwalker. I keep saying Dawn Trail because Endwalker is such an insignificant expansion to me because I didn't play a lot of it, right? But that was the first time I logged into Final Fantasy again. And that was a year ago. And it was nice. It was really nice. Honestly, logging back into this game after a break of 2 years was really, really nice. It was really refreshing. It was really something like you can appreciate a lot of things much more again if you take a break from it. And that's actually going to be my point probably later in the video. But I returned to the game. And since I've been now playing again for a year then, right? With a break. I had a break again in December or something because my group, my psych, decided to stop raiding. And raiding is still the main thing for me in this game. It will always remain the main thing. But I'm also now able to enjoy more things, other things that the game has to offer. But since my group took a break, I decided to also then take a break. I unsub from the game, all good. I still had to resub to keep my house. I have a house, big one. It's a large, very cool plot, so I had to resub. Okay, don't judge me. But I basically have been playing then for years with like 2 months break or something. And it made me realize actually all the things I like about this game. The things I love about this game that I couldn't love when I was so addicted to it or when I would play it every day. Because doing anything too much will make you dislike a lot of things, right? I feel like Dawn Trail, no, not, I keep saying Dawn Trail, I mean Endwalker. Endwalker, that's the one I mean. So Endwalker seemed to receive a lot more criticism than other expansions in this game. Because when I started complaining about things about Shadowbringers, I remembered I got a lot of people saying I was wrong. And in hindsight, obviously, yeah, I was wrong. A lot of things I said were wrong. Honestly, they were. A lot of my criticism was not very justified, if I'm honest with you. But obviously back then I believed in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it. But I felt like with Dawn Trail, again, Dawn Trail, what is wrong with me? I mean, Endwalker. I feel like a lot of content creators spoke out more about the state of the game and how it wasn't so appealing. And it was a bit boring, mostly because something like Eureka or Boja was missing, I think. I'm not sure, but I felt like a bigger part of the community actually spoke out against the game and wasn't as happy with it. Obviously, I couldn't see it. I started late into Dawn Trail, into Endwalker. I cannot believe I keep saying that. I cannot believe it. I started late into Endwalker, so to me, all these things were still very fresh and new, and I just enjoyed myself being back into it. I enjoyed doing the Savage raids, program with the different groups, program in Party Finder, just like being back on the horse. And after 2 years of not playing, you unironically lose a lot of your skill in the game. Like, I feel like I'm really bad by now. Like, I'm like fucking washed up. I'm rusty as hell. And the fun also is to relearn classes, to like discover them in a way again, because some of them have changed a little bit. There's also, of course, Reaper, which was new, which was interesting to me. And it was just a lot of fun for myself to rediscover the whole game. And that helped me also to rediscover what I like about this game so much and why I actually kept playing it so much, right? Because obviously the main thing for me, again, is raiding. But there's more to it. But first, the raids are honestly, I'm gonna be real, I played only the last tier of Endwalker, there I said it right, and the raids were good. I wouldn't call them fantastic. I think that 9 was okay. It was just a normal 9 fight. 10 was overtuned, but quite challenging. I really enjoyed it. And 11 was probably my favorite. I liked the aesthetics of 11 a lot. I also thought the music was amazing. I think it was maybe a bit too easy, but overall, I thought 11 was a great fight. And 12, 12, honestly, it wasn't really my thing, I think. Like, 12 was okay. It was good. But I think other last turns were better. That's basically how I feel about it. I don't feel like it sticks out, right? Before you ask, I haven't done any ultimates. I haven't gotten the time for that yet, but I will maybe do some of them in the future. People say they're pretty good. Some say top is crazy. DSR, though, apparently perfect. So I'm obviously want to dip my toes into it. But I think the raids in general are really good. I think raid design in this game is actually fantastic. Like, obviously, there's only so much you can do with tap target combat. It's pretty difficult to, make tap target combat similar to what it is in Lost Ark, because Lost Ark combat is pretty damn good. I have to give it to them, but all the res is trash. So the combat is good, res is trash. But with Final Fantasy XIV, obviously, like, there's more to it than just raiding. But the combat itself is actually really, really well designed, like the raids. I think that there is some problems with classes being streamlined and all of that, but that's like a different topic. I just think that overall the raid design is great, the mechanics are fun. Yes, they're repetitive and they're taken from older stuff, but there's only so many mechanics that exist actually. Like, you cannot really reinvent the wheel here in a way. Like, it's still gonna be the same after all. But the raids are great. They're great. They're just fun, honestly. And so that's like it for raiding. But now comes the things that I think I missed the most, kinda, because I could also do raiding in Lost Ark, even way too much raiding. But Lost Ark was only about raiding. It was only raiding. There's nothing else that had meaning. Anything else you did was just to make your raiding, your character stronger and stuff. Everything else was literally irrelevant in that game. There was nothing else that was relevant. It was awful. It was all centered around one thing only. And with Final Fantasy XIV, what I like so much is that it is like a theme park, right? It has everything, like literally everything. And that's like, yes, not all of these things are super engaging, but they're there and they're great. Like, I actually enjoy fishing a lot. I think fishing is great. By now, even though I hated Blue Mage when it came out, I actually enjoy doing Blue Mage content. It's fun. I'm not doing raids on Blue Mage, but I'm doing like the Carnival and stuff like that. I think it's great. It's actually enjoyable. And it's just a cool class design in a way, honestly. And it has so many more things, right? You can be a crafter, you can be a gatherer, you can do what the fuck you want, basically. And I think that's what I really miss, that you just can like take a time out from like raiding and just do something else and still play your liked game or your favorite game, right? You can just do a different activity, and that's really great. That's really awesome, to be honest. And then otherwise, what I really like is that there is so much love for details and design in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, in general, the cities are really nicely designed, character design, everything, like just overall the visual experience when playing Final Fantasy XIV is great, because I feel like it actually cares a lot about the details. You know, it just, the immersion in the world is actually quite significant if you feel like being immersed, right? It feels very significant. And honestly, it is just different to what I experience in other games. I don't know why. It's also because other people are playing it, you know, there's people just running around. Then you see someone who's named, I don't know, Goth Girlfriend, and you go like, okay, immersion broken, whatever. You get my point. But overall, I feel like the design of the game is really good. It's actually like, it pays a lot of attention to the details, and it makes all these things that players like. And nothing else I've played kind of feels like it comes close in a way. Sure, some single player games do, because they just have different, they use their resources differently, right? But with Final Fantasy XIV, like, it's an online game, and that's like the big difference. And when I was playing Lost Ark, I don't feel like anything comes close to it, right? I was also trying out other stuff in that time, and nothing makes me settle. Then, like, Final Fantasy XIV made me settle again. I really want to play this game. I want to play it right now, but I cannot. I want to play it. And then obviously, one thing that not many other games can compete with is, simply put, the music. Soken is fucking genius. Soken is a genius. Like, the touch of Soken is like you're gonna be blessed. I know that guy just like, even for Final Fantasy 16, he composed many great songs. I must admit, I like Final Fantasy 14 music more than 16. Honestly, I don't know why, but I just do. And I feel like Final Fantasy 14 has so many tracks, even old ones like Heaven's Ward tracks, that are just fantastic. They're just so good. Like, really, actually, really, really good. Obviously, Shadowbringers had amazing music. Shadowbringers had like such a fantastic amount and range of songs. It was incredible. So yeah, but lastly, I think the thing that I appreciate the most about Final Fantasy 14, that is something that a lot of people, I think, don't like so much anymore, is actually that you know what you're going to get. You know exactly what patch is going to drop at which moment. You can basically already calculate when the next expansion drops if you feel like it, right? You know what to expect. You know what new gear will come. You know how to gear up. You know new dungeons will come. You know exactly what you need to do. On one hand, that is really, really nice, obviously. I right now I'm in this stage where I'm like, this is great. I like it. Because I know what kind of content will be there and what kind of content I actually can attempt once the servers launch and what I can attempt in 2 weeks and in 4 weeks from now. Because it has been the same for 9 years, 10 years. And while a lot of people obviously don't like this so much, I currently love that. Because with Lost Ark, you never knew what was about to happen. You never knew when the next thing would be coming. You never knew if you had to invest another fucking week of grinding to get to the point where you can even attempt the next raid. Stuff like that. And that is like kind of a similar point, but still different. I believe that truly Final Fantasy XIV is the MMO. I don't know about, I don't play World of Warcraft or RuneScape. So it's for me, the MMO that respects my time. It actually does. It actually respects it. And it in the way that it doesn't want me to log in every single day. You don't need to log in every day. Sometimes you have the desire to log in, and then you look for things to do, and maybe you don't find anything to do. But you don't need to log in every day. You can just skip a day. You can skip a week. Not much is going to happen. Not much is going to change. You're not going to fall behind someone else. It's just that's so great. You can actually do other things. You can take time off from Final Fantasy XIV when you feel like it. Play other great games. Play, I don't know, a season of, Diablo or rather PoE, which is better. You can just do that. And it doesn't matter. You're not going to feel any form of FOMO when returning to Final Fantasy XIV. Because there's nothing really that you kind of need to achieve or kind of need to work towards. Sure, you want to maybe get your best in slot and stuff like that, but that's about it. What are you going to do with your best in slot? Nothing. If you parse, sure, you can parse, but then get 99, right? On the FFLogs, great. But that's about it. There's nothing else. And that's like, honestly, while that's also a form of a problem maybe, at the same time, it's also really great because it actually allows me or you, any player, to just go out there and play another game. Because, and that's honestly so good. The design philosophy works. It's great. It has been working for 10 years. The game is growing. The game is big. Yes, I know it's a bit boring and stale to always have the same. I get it. I really do. But at the same time, knowing what you will be getting is also really great. It's actually very positive. And that's what really made me really also fall in love again with this game, because I just know exactly what's coming. I know what to expect. I know, what I'm going to do. That's great. If you're one of those people that feel like this is lame, or the game is a bit lame, the game is stale, maybe the raids are not as appealing to you, whatever it is, whatever you feel like is not good about this game, I have the solution for you. But you're not going to like hearing it. You're not going to like it. But the solution simply is to stop playing for a while. Stop playing. Take a break. Play a different game. Get invested into a different MMO. Seriously, I know this is very difficult because MMOs are so big, but if you are not enjoying Final Fantasy XIV anymore as much as you used to, or if you feel like the game is not as great as it used to be, yeah, there's things that have changed, and I'm not even going to argue that. For example, I believe that combat jobs are worse than they used to be. That's a different topic again, but that's just, I agree on that. But there's a lot of things that became better. But again, if you're someone who's like bored or burned out, simply put, get invested into a different MMO that's currently out there. Try World of Warcraft or try RuneScape, which are probably the two best other MMOs you can play. If you're feeling really fancy, try a different MMO, a Korean MMO, try anything else. Get invested, play it for half a year. Don't just leave Final Fantasy on the side for a while. Do it. Because when you come back, you will realize that the things that you might have disliked are actually very positive and they're great things to have. Because that's exactly what happened to me. And you realize that Final Fantasy isn't as bad as you might think it is. It actually is pretty good. I'm going to be honest. It's good. It's really good. So I beg you, if you're bored of Final Fantasy XIV, don't continue to log in and complain about not there being any content for you. Don't do that. It's unhealthy for your mental. It's unhealthy for the people that surround you because they, either agree or disagree. And it's not good to continue to lock into a game that you simply put don't enjoy playing. Just take a break. That's the best thing is you can come back and you're not going to be behind. That's so great because it doesn't matter. Like, I mean that. I came back and it didn't matter I was gone for 2 years. It really didn't. Because my guild was still there, still the same value, kind of. right? And you just have a new tier, you get crafted gear, boom, voila. Yeah, sure, maybe you're behind in like something like if there's like, you know, Eureka stuff or like relics, but it doesn't matter. You can just overplay and catch up if you feel like it. But just take a break from the game and come back when you feel like you have the real desire to log in, you know. That's my advice to you if you are actually burned out or don't feel like playing the game as much. Honestly, it is. I know that Yoshi P always said, like back in the days, he would say, just play other games. I want you to play other games. And I was one of the biggest people to just say, nah, bro, that's just an excuse they make. But now I'm like looking at that statement, I'm like, I cherish the statement because I like it. I think it's the healthiest way to approach Final Fantasy XIV is definitely to not log in every day, play on big releases for, I don't know, whatever time, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever you feel like. But take breaks, play other games, go touch some grass IRL, I don't know, whatever there is to do, go do it, and come back when you feel like really playing it. Honestly, that's what I leave. What cures any form of like feeling bad about this game. And if you don't feel like coming back, well, then that was it. The journey is over. It's not the end of the world if it's over. If you feel like coming back, you always can come back, right? So it's not going anywhere. I mean, I don't know how much longer we're going to have it, but for now it's still there. So yeah, I don't know. I just felt like sharing this. I felt like sharing these thoughts and ideas that were going around in my head that I really just wanted to, you know, convey to you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Anyway, hope you guys liked hearing my thoughts or just my thing here. I don't know, this speech. And yeah, I hope, of course, you guys are doing great. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy Dawn Trail.